Hi, Self-Awareness, Whose Truth? I am your host, Rose, and I'm very excited because now we're going into part 3. We're going to get deeper into the metaphysical aspect of a lot of the things we talked about in part 1 and part 2. I'm going to turn it over to my guest, and he's going to tell you a quick little introduction of himself.
Hey, Nathan Lucas, jazz musician, ORGJAZZ at AOL.com. You can also hit me up on MySpace. I'm here, and we've done 2 parts already to the show, which is a great show. I'm enjoying my spiritual mom here so much. And we had touched on, we've touched on some schools, we've touched on slavery, we've touched on the chaos and the things that have happened, that are going on in our world today. But if it's okay with you, I'd like for us to jump right into just some other things, maybe some self-conscious stuff and all that. And
yes, because I think that is very important. And part 1 and part 2, you make reference to the subconscious mind, and I think that is key. And I don't think a lot of people really understand the power of that level of mind. So if you want to elaborate on it, we can go at it together.
Let's do it together. Well, first of all, when we say subconscious, I think that people really they take words too lightly.
Thank you.
And it's your subconscious, so that means that it is buried in there, which makes it more powerful.
Thank you.
Because when your subconscious is working, and when it's active, so many times there are things that your conscience and in your mind, your brain is not actually, well, you don't know that it's processing these things.
Yes.
And it's happening. Like there have been situations where people have killed people, and you say, well, what happened? They say, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's that subconscious mind, because
yes.
These are things that have seeped into your subconscious mind. One thing that I will always suggest to people, and it's something that I don't do, take the televisions out of your bedroom.
Thank you.
Do not sleep with that television on, because then everything that's going on that television is seeping into your subconscious mind. So you wonder, where we get these thoughts, or
anger,
this rage. I had a young lady tell me one time before, oh, I just want to kill this guy. And this is a young lady I knew all of her life, and this is not who she is. But you sit with the TV on, and the cop shows and the murdering, movies like Scarface. Put that whole drug culture mentality, it embedded it into young men's subconscious, like myself. Get Rich or Die Trying, like what you just mentioned. Those types of movies, and we'll say, oh, that's just entertainment, but that stuff quietly seeps itself into your subconscious.
But it goes back to what the Bible says: words are powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you continue to listen to anything for any length of time, your subconscious mind, even if you're not conscious of it, like you say, it seeks in. And because of law of attraction, it has to go out there and draw that experience or that condition to you. So like you say, the person, I don't know why I killed this person, because consciously he wasn't aware. Right. So that's just like when people go shopping. Half the time they get home like, why did I buy this? I don't need this. The advertisement program it into their subconscious mind. And a lot of the ads, you looking at one thing and you don't see the subliminal message. Your conscious mind sees one thing, but your subconscious mind sees it all.
Sees it all. It reads the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I've sat and I'm watching some on TV in a food commercial, McDonald's, what a Boston Market. Now I'm hungry. Because
Yeah. It has programming.
It sends subliminal messages to your mind. Or for instance, here's an ad. Here's an ad, an HBO ad. It Kill the Messenger. Now, it's supposed to be a comedy event, but this talks to your subconscious.
Yes.
It talks to your mind. You see this, and you say, and what would that say to your subconscious? Now, to you and I, to our conscious, it says, oh, it's a comedy, it's Chris Rock, it's probably funny, but you know, to your subconscious, it's saying, and to someone who's not enlightened,
thank you,
it's saying,
because they're on that low vibration.
That low vibration
will gravitate to them quicker.
It says, kill the messenger. You know, well, who's the messenger? And you know, and so that puts different things out there. Or when you watch these Law and Order shows or things like that, and you see the guys who commit all kind of crimes, they do all types of things, and then they get away with their crime that they've committed because they tell on someone else. Well, it subconsciously it tells people it's okay to commit, it's okay to do the things that they do and get away with it, because I'll get away with it because I'll tell. I'll give someone up. So it creates this whole breed of what they were calling on the street snitches.
And violence.
And violence and drug dealing and chaos, because you know that I can get rich or die trying, and if I get caught in the middle of that, I can always tell and get away with it because I watch these shows. They say, well, give up this guy and we'll let you go.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading a passage from a book that I'd like to share with you real quick. This is actually the book itself. It's called Africa Counts. And I was reading in here the chapter from Frank E. Chapman Jr. Is it okay if I read that?
Please do.
And I'm going somewhere with this. Just bear with me for a minute. It said, author of a collection of essays entitled Science and Africa, Frank E. Chapman Jr. is a prisoner in a state penitentiary. Undaunted by failure to have Science and Africa published, Mr. Chapman has continued to work on the subsequent volumes, Science, Society and Truth, and Race and Society. We can only hope that such a genius will soon receive the recognition it deserves, and that Mr. Chapman will be able to enjoy the relative freedom of life outside of prison. The following excerpts from Chapman's autobiography throw some light on the misery of his existence and his determination to devote his life to, quote unquote, the search for truth, for this is my only true religion. On October 5th, 1961, I was sentenced to life imprisonment and 50 years for murder and robbery. I was 19 years of age at this time. The circumstances which led to my present imprisonment greeted me the day I was born, and are shaping the destinies of millions of black men and women even now. These are the circumstances of material and spiritual poverty. Presently, I'm in prison, confined in a box-like cell, which is about 6 feet in width, 7.5 feet length, and 10 feet high. Prison is a place where a few men acquire new dreams and new hopes, and where most men lose even ability to hope for anything except for a successful criminal career. But I left the courtroom with this conviction: I must know the truth about myself. I must become conscious of whatever forces may have shaped my life and made me what I am. On that day, life for me took a new sudden turn. I wanted to live only to know myself better and the world. I wanted to discover for myself my own humanity.